Hello everybody, Tyrone the God 3 here, and welcome to a video I've been planning to make for a long time. I just keep forgetting to do it, so I'm finally doing it. This is a video topic that's actually been the topic of conversation for a lot. It's brought on many debates, and it's probably one of the biggest debates in Dragon Ball history since who would win in a fight between Goku versus Superman. Well, this debate is between two of Goku's transformations and later Vegeta's transformations as you watch Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super as to who would win between Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan 4. The reason that this is up for debate is because this is a very huge factor in Dragon Ball Z, only because Dragon Ball Z has shown somewhat of a split between series ever since the Majin Buu series ended. When the Majin Buu series ended early in the early 90s, well, the late 90s, it spawned off to later form Dragon Ball GT, which was the follow-up to the events that happened in the Majin Buu saga. However, this wasn't well received, and many of the plot holes and inconsistencies, as well as bad character writing and not living up to its full potential, caused a lot of fans to just view it as non-canon towards the Dragon Ball series. A lot of things were very inconsistent, characters were horribly written, characters weren't really utilized to their fullest potentials, and it was an overall bad plot, and even the art style went down a bit. Later on, we got treated to a sequel to what happened in the Majin Buu saga in the form of a movie known as Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods. In this movie, it would seem like it would be a regular Dragon Ball Z movie, so most people would count it as non-canon as well. However, there was two large differences here in this movie that made things vastly different than all the other movies preceded before it. Goku had the ability to transform into a new transformation. Well, since this movie takes place after the Majin Buu saga, then it's safe to say this transformation had to have taken place before the events of Dragon Ball GT, since it still used the words Dragon Ball Z in the title of the movie. But there's another situation that took a large amount of effect here that made the movie canon. Akira Toriyama helped write it. This is a large factor and makes things a lot more important because Akira Toriyama actually took part in working on Battle of Gods. He did not take part in working on Dragon Ball GT, the concept in which Super Saiyan 4 comes from. The reason that this is such a big and important factor is because most people count off everything that has to do with Dragon Ball GT, including the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. So, because of this, Super Saiyan God was a transformation introduced right after Super Saiyan 3 if you look at it chronologically in the DBZ's lore canon timeline. So the debate became, what is better? Is Goku better at Super Saiyan God? Is he stronger at Super Saiyan God than Super Saiyan 4? A lot of people will argue against this, stating that Goku turned Super Saiyan 4 in Dragon Ball GT, and the way that Dragon Ball GT takes place, it can still technically happen within the timeline of the series due to the fact that it happened several years after the events of Majin Buu, and Dragon Ball Super still takes place within the timeline before Goku fought Oob in the final episodes of Dragon Ball Z. This means that if Goku's using Super Saiyan 4, then he obviously has long abandoned the Super Saiyan God transformation, which would have others believe that Super Saiyan 4 is the more superior form. So, with this debate being locked down on which one is stronger, some people state that God form is stronger because it's God form. Nothing can be stronger than the God form. Some people say the Super Saiyan 4 is stronger just simply because why would Goku go Super Saiyan 4 after the events of Dragon Ball Super chronologically in the timeline? Keep in mind, Akira Toriyama had no thought in mind of Dragon Ball GT when making Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, or Dragon Ball Super for that matter. So the whole accountment of Super Saiyan 4 was never taken into place. Now, if you were to ask me right now which form do I think is stronger, I'm going to go ahead and divulge into both forms and then basically show off why I feel that one of the forms is stronger. So, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Super Saiyan God to me is the more powerful form. Now, before you click that back button and unsubscribe and burn your computer down and send a bunch of comments saying that I'm horrible and a paragraph long reason of why I'm wrong, hear me out for a second. When taking into account the Super Saiyan God transformation, I will be calculating Goku when he did the ritual for Super Saiyan God, and I will not be counting any other variations. I won't count Goku or Vegeta in their base forms with God Ki. I won't be calculating Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan as most people call it. I won't be counting these simply due to the fact that I want to make a very accurate measurements of their power. And in order to do that, then I need to set Goku at a placement in which his power was more or less at the beginning of Super Saiyan God, because this is when he first transformed. Obviously, in order to do this, I need to see what feats he did while in Super Saiyan 3, the form he transformed into before turning Super Saiyan 4 or Super Saiyan God in both series respectively. In Battle of Gods, or Dragon Ball Super if you want to watch it, Goku transforms Super Saiyan 3 in order to fight Beerus. Beerus easily beats Goku without any effort whatsoever. He effortlessly dodges every attack, flicks Goku off, and he even karate chops him. A simple karate chop, mind you, on the neck, which turns him back in a normal state. The only one who really managed to land a hit on Beerus before Goku transformed Super Saiyan God was Vegeta, but that was during an emotional raged moment where his power had skyrocketed. At this point, we could use Vegeta as a factor here, but I'm going to go ahead and use Goku since he was the only one to fight Beerus twice. Once on Super Saiyan 3 and a second time at Super Saiyan God. This way we have a very great accurate measurement of his power. Another thing I'll be taking into account is due to the fact that I'll be measuring both Gokus at the exact same power. In this hypothetical situation I've created, both Gokus have the ability to do one of two things. The Goku in Goku A has the ability to transform into Super Saiyan God. And in this example, I'm going to go ahead and just say that the ritual necessary to turn Super Saiyan God will be the thing that's taking place here. He's going Super Saiyan Red via the ritual, and I'm not going to place anything else in its place because this will be the most accurate representation of Goku's strength. The other Goku will be exactly the same strength as the Goku that fought Beerus in the Battle of Gods movie. The only exception is that he does not have the ability to transform Super Saiyan God. We'll call this Goku Goku B. Instead, he has the ability to transform Super Saiyan 4. So in this state, we can also state that Goku has his tail in this form. Goku B has a tail, which allows him to transform Super Saiyan 4, thanks to the Blutz waves given on planet Tuffle. But we're going to go ahead and skip all that and just say that Goku has the ability to transform Super Saiyan 4 at will. So, with both of these Gokus on the table, transforming into the forms respectively, who would win? Well, in Goku's fight in Dragon Ball GT against Baby Vegeta, it was clear that Goku was giving Baby Vegeta a little bit of trouble while fighting him in Super Saiyan 3. Not too much to the point where Baby Vegeta had a disadvantage. If anything, Baby Vegeta still had the edge in the fight. The difference here is that Baby Vegeta still decided to block and dodge some of Goku's attacks when fighting him on Super Saiyan 3. That means he was still somewhat of a threat even at that level. Baby Vegeta still was able to mop the floor with Super Saiyan 3 Goku though. However, you can obviously see on Baby Vegeta, the threat was more alarming for Baby Vegeta when Goku was on Super Saiyan 3. Rather than Beerus, who can basically fight Goku with little to no effort while Goku was on Super Saiyan 3. This means that the enemies that they were fighting respectively show that Beerus is far ahead of Baby Vegeta, which means if Goku's to fight on par with Beerus in Super Saiyan God, then that means Super Saiyan God had to have been considerably much stronger because of that. But let's say that Super Saiyan 4 was the deciding factor here. When Goku turned Super Saiyan 4 against Baby Vegeta, it was clear that he had the advantage. He played with him a little bit to make it look like he didn't have the advantage, but he overall did. And even when Baby Vegeta transformed into the Great Ape form, he was on par with Goku. And even still, Goku showed to have the edge in the fight. Now, taking all of that into account, it's safe to say that Super Saiyan 4 does offer up a really huge power boost in Goku's overall base power. Obviously, there's no multipliers for either of these forms, so there's no way to really calculate how much power they give up to each of the forms. Super Saiyan 4 doesn't have a multiplier like the other transformations do, so it makes things quite difficult to measure out how much stronger Goku is than he is on his normal form, Super Saiyan 1, or Super Saiyan 2, or Super Saiyan 3. Because of this, we have no way to discover how much stronger he is on this form than he would have been if he went Super Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan God doesn't have a way to show either. Even at Super Saiyan God, Beerus was only fighting Goku at about 70%. The thing about this here that we need to take into account is that Beerus is still way stronger after Goku turns into this transformation. So the odds are that Goku's definitely gotten stronger, but has he gotten strong enough to stay on par with Super Saiyan 4 Goku? That question remains unanswered. However, what I'm measuring right now isn't even the basis of power and math. What I'm measuring based on Super Saiyan God, and the reason I said that it's better, is based on abilities. If you watch the movie Battle of Gods, Goku absorbs the energy from Gohan, Vegeta, Trunks, and Goten respectively in order to gain a lot of power. This is prior to them using Videl in order to turn Goku into the successful Super Saiyan God. The reason that I'm mentioning this is because Piccolo calls Goku out. He basically states that Goku just raised his power level up really high, but he's still no God. The reason of this is because Piccolo is a former God, which means he's more than likely able to sense God Ki. He was probably the only one that was able to sense God Ki out of the entire Z group. No one else can keep track of Beerus' energy. Why? Because Beerus is a God. You can't sense the Ki of God, so there you go. Gods have certain abilities. One of those abilities is that their Ki can't be detected by anybody except for those who also have God Ki. Another ability that they have is the ability to heal themselves. When Goku ended up getting injured by Beerus in one of the episodes of Dragon Ball Super, more specifically episode 11, he ends up falling into the water. But when he gets fired up and shoots back up into the air, his injuries have healed. Already we see that Super Saiyan God Goku has access to two powers that Super Saiyan 4 Goku does not have. Another huge major factor here is the fact that Super Saiyan God has the ability to absorb and nullify energy-based attacks. Super Saiyan 4 Goku displays this abilities in both Dragon Ball Super and in the movie Battle of Gods. The reason I said that Piccolo called Goku out on not becoming a god was important due to the fact that while simply raising your power, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have the powers of a god. Yeah, you're very strong, but you're not God Ki. And God Ki is very important here because with God Ki, you have the ability to use godlike powers as Goku portrays in both Dragon Ball Super and in Battle of Gods. Now, why is it such a big deal that Goku's energy can't be tracked? Well, obviously we've seen in Dragon Ball Z that not being able to track energy is a very important factor. It's what helped Goku actually stand a chance against Final Form Frieza when they first fought. I mean, well, at least it's what kept him from not dying. Another thing is, because Goku isn't able to sense Ki, but God Ki, when he's in Super Saiyan 4, this means that if Goku were to fight the other Goku able to fight Goku B, and Super Saiyan 4 versus Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan 4 wouldn't even be able to sense Goku's Ki enough. The whole reason that Beerus was able to catch Goku off guard and karate chop him and knock him out wasn't just because Beerus was vastly faster and stronger than he is, but also due to the fact that Goku couldn't keep a track on his Ki. If he was able to sense his Ki, he'd be able to detect him a lot easier. This makes for a large, giant factor. Not being able to sense the Ki that Goku has as a god form means that Goku B would have a huge disadvantage in this fight. The reason I say this is because even though both of the Gokus are even in strength, base form wise, they can transform Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan 4 respectively, and Super Saiyan 4 would find himself at a disadvantage. Yeah, it could be possible that even if Super Saiyan 4 was stronger than Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan 4 Goku would have a hard time keeping track of Super Saiyan God Goku. Being able to sense energy and Ki is one of the major factors in a fight that allows you to keep track of your opponent. If your opponent is fast, that's fine, but in any Dragon Ball Z battle, Piccolo has told Gohan several times that in order to find an opponent, they need to not use their eyes and sense them out in order to sense their energy to find out their locations. This has been used ever since the fight against Cybermen and Nappa. So, with that very important process put in, Super Saiyan 4 Goku would actually have a disadvantage against God Goku simply because he can't keep track of them. They both may be fighting at the exact same speed and strength, but due to the fact that Super Saiyan God Goku, his Ki is unsensible, untrackable because Super Saiyan 4 Goku doesn't have access to God Ki, this means that Super Saiyan 4 is at a major disadvantage. But that's not even the tip of the iceberg. Let's also talk about the fact of what Ki is being used here. God Ki. As we've seen before, after Goku's done using God Ki, it runs out. However, that doesn't mean Goku's necessarily out of the fight. Once Goku runs out of God Ki, he can still have access to regular Ki. In the most recent episodes of Dragon Ball Super, we've seen both Goku and Vegeta be able to transform Super Saiyan 1 while still having access to Super Saiyan Blue. They're God Ki transformations. They both still have the power to turn Super Saiyan God, but they choose not to use it. In my review of Dragon Ball Super episode 36, I actually explain this, and I make a callback to Naruto, who is able to access two types of chakra. His blue chakra, which is the chakra that he normally is born with and given, and the red chakra, the chakra that was given to him because he was cursed with the nine-tailed fox seal. He has access to both and allows him to fight with both respectively. It's kind of like a car that has an extra fuel tank on it, so once you run out of gas on that one, you can just replace it with the second one. So that means that Goku A already has two sets of keys that he can use. If he runs out of God Ki during the fight, he can just simply use regular Ki. Now, does that mean that Super Saiyan 4 has a disadvantage? Pretty much. I mean, Super Saiyan 4, unfortunately, is using the exact same Ki that he's using to go Super Saiyans 1 through 3. So, once Super Saiyan 4 fights long enough, he'll more than likely wind up exhausted. If both God and Super Saiyan 4 Gokus fought to the point where their energies were completely reduced, Goku A, the one that can turn God, still has access to his normal Ki, which means he still has an advantage here. And let's also take into effect that he has the ability to absorb energy and heal himself. This means that Super Saiyan 4 could be taking all of this punishment, all of these energy attacks, and Super Saiyan God would simply heal before he has the chance to do any major damage to Super Saiyan God Goku. Super Saiyan 4 Goku can dish out all the 10 times Kamehamehas he wants, and yes, they may hurt him, but even if they get absorbed and nullified, or even if they do somehow wind up hitting God Goku, he can simply heal himself and be back on his feet, while Super Saiyan 4 not only is still worn down by the fight, injured, his energy can still run out. So, with all of that being said, Super Saiyan God Goku still has the advantage just because he has reserved powers as backup, can heal himself, his power can't be detected, and the fact that he can absorb and nullify energy attacks. It's not really the factor of what Goku's strength is compared to the other Goku. It's based on the facts that Super Saiyan God has more abilities than Super Saiyan 4. One of the things I always respected about Dragon Ball Z is that it was never a contest to see who was stronger. They also take other things into account. Like when Trunks was definitely stronger than Vegeta, but definitely not faster, which means his form was flawed. Or when Goku had the ability to go Ultra Super Saiyan and explain this to Gohan. Just because you're stronger doesn't necessarily make you better. So if we were to ask who would win in a fight, then I definitely would have to say Super Saiyan Guy Goku. So, what do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section below, and have a great day, everybody. Tyrone the God 3 out.